welcome to another episode of Husbands Watching Housewives. I'm Scott.
And I'm Jeff.
And we just watched an episode of The Real Housewives of New York City.
We did.
It was the lowest rated episode this season. I don't know. I don't understand why.
Series, it was either series or season low. I think maybe both.
But it had no competition. I mean, no one was watching anything at all.
What happened Tuesday?
So, yeah. What happened on Tuesday? Well, it's more what happened on Wednesday. And today is Thursday while we're recording this because just needed, I'm sure as many of us did, we all need a little time for ourselves.
Yeah, we were really focusing on Bravo. And I noticed a lot of other people weren't either on the Instagram and whatnot.
Yeah.
I know, the world keeps turning, but, we need to have a little pause, talk about pauses a little bit later. But thanks. If you've just been waiting with bated breath because you're like, I need someone to help distract me from the fallout of the election. We're those dudes.
We're those dudes.
We're those husbands.
We're those husbands. And so thanks for joining us and follow us on all the social media. Subscribe to us. Hit that punch that subscribe button down below. All those sorts of things. It really helps us know who's listening and for more than 10 seconds. So, but yeah, the show tonight.
Sorry, I was distracted by Gab. She's being really cute down there.
Of course, because she knows how she's felt the mood around here. And like, you need more cuteness. I'm your therapy cat.
Meow meow. Pick her up. Oh, we got her now.
You sure you don't want me to get her? I can get her.
Let her be cute. Let Gabs be cute. Okay. What happened on this episode? Well, Erin brought mezcal to America.
Yeah, she just Christopher Columbus that shit. Probably, hopefully, a little less violently than he did. But she's like, look, I discovered mezcal.
This story of I spoke to a Mexican. Yeah. And he told me, we drink mezcal, not that tequila. And she said, well, I should bring this to America. And here I am.
Mezcal's been around for such a long time, too. Like, to just not make it to New York City until now?
I mean, or just her neighborhood. It wasn't in Tribeca.
Right.
Or now she's on the Upper West Side or wherever she is. But whatever.
But yeah, it's just ridiculous. There's a bar that I live in Austin. And last time I was in Austin had to have been at least before the pandemic.
Yes.
So anyway, one half of the bar is a whiskey bar. All the whiskey.
Oh, that's
great.
Yeah.
And the other half of the bar next door, even though they're connected, is a mezcal bar.
Oh, it's a whole mezcal bar.
Well, it's a tequila bar, but they have lots of mezcal.
Okay.
But yeah, I mean, 5 years ago, I don't know.
Well, now everyone knows about it.
She's trying to make mezcal happen. Paul Mezcal.
He's happening. So they have this business. It's been going well. I forgot that her business partner is the dude who she hooked up with before he became her partner. So that's,
she definitely, fine. I think, upgraded with Abe.
Yeah. I mean, the partner was fine. He wasn't horrible. He was on a troll under the Brooklyn Bridge. But
no, that's only who was Brynn suggesting that it was?
Sai.
Because she lives in Brooklyn?
Yes.
Okay.
That's so mean. I just thought about that. Yeah, it's because she lives in Brooklyn and she's a miserable troll underneath the Brooklyn Bridge. And
that's some 80s, snobbery there. Like, whatever, snobbery. You live in Brooklyn.
Well, that's what's the original New York Housewives. Ramona would be like, I'm not going to Brooklyn because Alex lived in Brooklyn. They're all like, we can't go to Brooklyn. It's so far. And I'm like, I've been in New York. And now I'm like, no, it's not really. Well, especially if you have a driver.
Right. But you say that as though when we went to Brooklyn, we had a driver.
No, I'm saying Ramona would have had a driver to take her to New York. She wasn't taking the damn subway.
Right.
Anywho.
Meanwhile, then what happened?
The
Racquel.
Oh, Racquel. We learned a lot about Racquel.
A lot about her.
She's a whole storyline going.
Yeah, which is nice of her own.
I didn't know. Because according to that headline, she and her husband broke up in 2022.
Oh.
And now she's getting engaged 2 years later. But she'd been friends with him Al before they became girlfriends and now fiancés. But her whole story about how she was the muse to her artist husband but also was involved in the art, and they're very connected, and they didn't announce their breakup for a while. And then when they did, it was assumed that she cheated on him with Mel and that Mel was some homewrecker. And she's been treated poorly in the art world, which apparently is very insular and small, according to Racquel.
And there's not thousands. There's hundreds.
Yeah, when you get to that level, it's that level, it's only hundreds, apparently. But, and then also we learned that Racquel's mother isn't on board with her being with a woman.
Right.
So, but, yeah, that's... That's a lot of
A
story.
lot of story going on, and I have to say, they didn't deliver that all at once in this episode.
No, they
broke
broke it.
segment.
Yes.
In that first half, reminded me why I fell asleep on the couch last night.
She kept talking and
did.
talking. It's a
Lot
story.
of story and a lot to get out there, and I'm glad they left it in. But
She had to give a lot of backstory about the art world and their relationship, and much like Stacy's husband, he is blurred whenever they show him.
oh,
So
unlike Stacy's mom.
I wonder if Stacy's aware of that song.
I'm sure she is. But no, that is interesting for sure, and I'm glad that she has her own story to tell.
Yes.
And it's not just coming in, making another woman or man.
Exactly. She didn't come in and say, like, I'm going to take down Jenna Lyons. I'm the number one lesbian in New York.
Right.
That's really good. Yeah. I think that's why they hired her. It's like, you have something going on. And, I don't think she was initially supposed to be a full-time housewife.
Then Rebecca snoozed out.
I mean, what did I think they were getting with Rebecca? Because I forget she's there. When she popped up at that party, I was like, oh, yeah, Rebecca.
What's funny, though, is that the Psy asked, oh, well, where'd Rebecca go? As though Rebecca had been there at some point. And I think they just were able to edit her out of the parts where she was there because she really didn't do anything.
She said some things at the party. And
barely.
And then it was the thing about the... I can't remember.
Yeah. So, I mean, this is separate. This whole, Rebecca Minkoff being maybe perhaps boring is separate than the whole internet's claim that New York is boring.
Yes.
I'm just tired of hearing that. So when I'm saying Rebecca is a little boring, I'm like, yeah, there is some weak link in our sausage.
I mean, you really just needed 7. They didn't need 8, but maybe someone liked round numbers.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, but like, she really isn't bringing much. I think maybe they thought the Scientology part of things would liven her up, but she's not talking about that.
Yeah, it is strange. I would think they would choose 8 so they could maybe have a threat of, well, we have too many next year, someone might not come back.
Right. Or with Potomac.
Yeah.
So.
But anyway, that was interesting.
Or not.
No, I mean, it's, it's noteworthy.
Oh, what was annoying, though, add on to the list of things that are annoying about Brynn, she won't let go of this freaking Nordstrom Rack thing. It's like, girl, Rebecca's making money.
Right.
Period. So whether it's Nordstrom Rack or Nordstrom, who gives a damn?
Right.
She's doing her thing. Has a business. Blah, blah, blah.
Yeah, she doesn't need to, maybe she doesn't feel like she needs to be wearing labels all the time. Leave her alone.
Well, I don't think it's just that. I think she's just like, it's just like she's cheap. And that is basically what you said. Sorry.
Yeah. We're a little rusty with this whole...
Yeah, it was just...
How do these work? Is this thing on?
Yeah, I don't get why she's just focusing so much ire at Rebecca, who's just like trying to live. Trying to matter.
It's probably because she's tried to engage with her and make her more part of the show, and she's not getting there. See, on another franchise, that's the story. I've really tried to become friends with Rebecca, but she's not.
Give it reciprocating. Yeah. I think when Rebecca shut down that Scientology thing in the helicopter, Brynn was like, "Okay, I'm done. That's the only thing I want to know about you." As if she's gonna be like, "Well, that time I was hanging out with Tom Cruise and John Travolta." No.
Yeah.
Or I helped persecute Leah Remini.
Yeah.
No.
Also, Brynn has nothing to flirt with Rebecca about. So,
true. She's not a lesbian. She's not a man.
Yeah, she doesn't have a man.
Yeah, she can't tell her where Shelley Miscavige is.
Yeah, any of that stuff, allegedly. And then was it Pavit and Jessel going out to dinner?
Yeah.
They're really selling this Pavit restaurant critic stuff.
He's just a blogger.
Yeah, I know, but he can pick great food, but I can pick a great vibe. Oh, it's actually not a bad headline for when we're stumped and don't know what our housewife would be.
Oh yes, I pick
Anyway.
Yeah. So I think you did say that they've had this conversation off camera, I'm sure many times, about having another child. He is not with it, and so when it seemed. Because it didn't seem, it was dickish of him to be like, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, whatever. These are let me focus on my noodles, Noodles.
Yeah. See,
it works.
It works.
But yeah, he has heard it before and wanted to eat his meal in peace, but he could have been less of a dick. It's like, I know you've had the conversation before, but we, the audience, have not seen these many conversations.
Right.
So you could at least like pretend to listen to her.
Also, yeah, what did you think was going to happen on camera while filming? And before, last night in bed when she said, tomorrow we're going to talk about having a baby.
Yeah.
And you said, oh, do we have to?
And then he's like, I just want to stuff my face full of noodles and
dumplings in one bite. That was a lot of. Well, I mean, it's possible, but dumplings are a mouthful.
You don't have to you can, savor it.
That's also you end up choking.
Exactly. Then you're choking in the restaurant. But yeah, he just seemed really checked out, and they do need to go to a therapist because they obviously are not communicating. The fact that she tunes him out, he tunes her out. I was thinking about us, and I'm like, we even if it's a conversation that one or the other isn't interested in really having, we still respect one another to participate in the conversation.
Or if it's a situation where it's like, I know you want to talk about it. It's like, can we can we just eat right now and then we'll talk about it?
Totally. There's an adult way of having that.
But I think the other thing is, though, is that you and I, when we say we'll talk about something later, we actually talk about it later.
Exactly.
There's a lot of people just, we'll talk about it later, and then
just
never
makes the person stop talking.
Yeah, never come back and talk about it. So that's one of the differences as well, I feel. But I mean, he definitely could have been, especially if his initial sentiment on this whole thing, not the whole thing, but is, I know we're filming, but do we have to talk about this?
Right.
He could have just said, look, this is important, but let's eat. We'll talk.
Yeah, it's been a long day. I want to eat my honey chicken, blah, blah, blah. They really are making, though, every time you see him, he's stuffing his face.
Yeah.
I feel like he found
got the burrito.
Yeah. So
that's funny. I didn't think about that they were doing that, but yeah.
Pavit likes to eat.
If we get Pavit up here and we can put a ham next to him.
No husbands. Next thing you know, we have to put Justin.
We're going to have to get the photos much smaller if we're going to do that.
That's true.
So, but yeah, I mean, it was still sweet that, they're having the conversation about, having a kid or not.
Yeah, that was sweet.
Well, I mean, not the way the conversation was, but that she's still trying to talk about it.
Right.
I think it's very important for her. And yeah.
I mean, yeah, because I think if he had his way, they'd just be like, let's just let these embryos go, and it's I could see her saying, when she made that point about people try for a girl, and it's we have a girl embryo right there, we could
have a girl. Yeah.
When she met with her IVF coach, that's a thing.
Yeah. I mean, what is your IVF coach? We got to look that up.
Coaching her through the process, I guess, because it is very mentally, I'm sure, draining.
That's VIP level of,
it is.
Of all those packages.
VIP, yeah.
Going back, I do think it's a little tricky of, we should go to couples therapy so that I can basically have them convince you that
a second person to badger you into giving me what I want. Yes.
Which I could tell that was her way of thinking, is that way we can talk about it and there'll be someone to prove that I'm right when I'm right, so.
Or she's like, housewives go to therapy with their husbands.
And everyone wants to see that all the time.
All the time. They're regular Jen Aiden and Bill.
Jen Aiden
and Bill. he has one name, Dr. Bill.
So then I remember there was a commercial after that.
There's the whole damn segment of that, them eating and talking about not having a baby.
I feel like as long as we've been talking about it. Damn.
Yeah. Jesus.
So when they came back, was that the start of the party?
Other stuff we already talked about. So, but yeah, let's hop to the party.
Yeah.
Where Erin apparently smelled.
Yeah, that was something.
And a dress that we've seen before.
Yeah.
We've seen that dress before. And if you're out there, Shannon.
Shannon, you know what we're talking about. Find us that dress.
Not Bador.
Oh, yeah.
Friend Shannon. We need to know, who wore that dress. Because I swear I've seen it in blue or something.
Oh, we could also check that Instagram account, Housewives Who Wore It, or whatever.
Oh, that's an account.
I forget that I'm really butchering that name.
Housewives Who Wore It.
No, there's basically a girl who goes through, or a woman, I suppose, who goes through and costs out everything that they wore on every episode.
Oh, okay.
Where you can find it, or
I've seen that. Okay,
it's interesting.
Okay.
I mean, they're not very long, but they're long videos that really get into detail, and I'm just I don't have the attention, so I'll usually skim and If I can fast forward it, I will.
Well, that looks like that's a dress someone's worn before, for sure.
Yeah, for sure.
Um,
Or she just looks like the was it someone Beverly Hills? Because she looks like the emoji, the dancing emoji. What?
the dancing emoji?
Yeah, the dancing red dress emoji on an iPhone.
Oh, right.
Someone made a reference to that on one of the Housewives, didn't they?
Right, they did.
I'm on to something. See, I'm doing something.
Yes, I think it was either New York or Beverly Hills.
I think it was Beverly Hills. We'll look it up after.
Yes.
We'll figure it
So
out. Shane, if you beat us to it, it'll be
yes. Yeah. But the party was packed
Yeah.
to capacity. And whenever there's scenes like that, I get so claustrophobic just watching it. Because I know, like, to have all those people and a crew in there trying to navigate it, someone's going to, get bopped with a camera,
Oh.
I swear.
I love a crowd like that.
It's just, no, in real life, but, to see it on a show, it seemed just so, no wonder you could smell everybody.
I thought it was strange when Erin said we're 100 people over capacity. Like, that's not a thing you we're so packed we have 100 more people than we should.
Right?
The fire department should shut us down right now.
Because it basically was like a bar and eatery,
Yeah.
pretty much.
It's sort of
Yeah.
restaurant, some
Yeah.
people call them.
Carmen.
Bar and eatery.
Carmen. We'd have to go there when we're in New York.
Yeah.
But yeah, they basically sat at a table. They tried to move some story. Uba called people pigeons again.
Yeah.
They were told about people talking smack, and they tried to confront Brynn. Brynn, who just sat there, was like,
Yeah.
She was just not gonna engage, which is weak sauce. Just be like, and then but by the end of the party, she and Brynn and Sai and Uber are all buddied up together.
Well, I mean, I think Brynn had said something along the lines of we can only sweep it under the rug so many times.
Right.
And I think that she was hoping that there would be perhaps a not group conversation, that maybe she and Uba would have a one-on-one, or I don't know, or she and
If
Sai
she
would
wanted a
have one-on-one.
one-on-one, she would have called, just like she called Erin to her apartment, they would have had a one-on-one by now.
She wants the other ones to come to her and be like, oh, we want to make,
But obviously you're the most hurt. I feel like Sai and Uber are like, whatever.
And I think Sai for sure detects that.
Yeah. And she's like, she can come to me.
Yeah.
If you think I'm a troll, come to me and say it.
And I think Uba's doing the same thing.
Yes.
Just, although I guess...
I think she's doing the same thing, and Brynn's not meeting them halfway. She's just being hurt. I am just so tired of her and the sexual innuendo jokes. It's just so tiresome. It's not even funny anymore. I like to get my head banged against. I'm like, shut up. We get it. You like sex. I'm not shaming you for it. It's just dumb to make the same dumb sex jokes about it.
You're just joke shaming her. I get it.
Yes, because they're weak sauce. So weak.
Yeah.
I can't with her.
It's like hanging out with a 16-year-old.
Yeah, that's what she said. Girl, get some new material.
Yeah.
Go get it from your brother.
Or don't.
Her main talk to.
Oh, yes.
Well,
her husband's surrogate, because she doesn't have
that's true.
she doesn't have a Pavit to go eat dinner with.
And berate.
Yeah. But like I was saying when we were watching it, I do feel like there's two different styles of housewives clashing. I don't mean individual housewives, but I think housewife shows where Erin and Jessel and Brynn are playing this kind of more West Coast, telephone game, Orange County. We're like, oh, well, you don't know what they're saying behind your back, and da-da-da-da. Whereas I think Racquel for sure, but then Sai and Uba are playing this weird having a life, and we're going to talk, and if drama comes up, we'll deal with it. But we're not making this about drama.
I would rather, because Uba will tell you straight up, you're a basic bitch. I don't like you. This pissed me off. You condescend to me. She's very direct, as is Sai.
Mm-hmm.
So I think I would appreciate that more if the others fell in line and weren't just well, she said that, or have a little group meeting and blah blah blah, she sucks, or if you hate Rebecca, just say, Rebecca, I don't like you and this is why, and talk it out. That's so much more interesting than these dumb Nordstrom Rack comments in your confessionals or to the other women. Just saying, chick, I don't like you.
Well, that's the thing. I think again, it's a very West Coast kind of Beverly Hills style show to be polite, but then save it all for your
confessional.
Sutton,
Sutton, friend of Kyle's face, and talking smack about our marriage behind her back in the professionals.
Well, even, Dorit was like that. Grace Sutton.
Garcelle
too, yeah.
Yeah.
So, and even Kyle to an extent, but Kyle, I think, will be more willing and more to pull someone aside and say it right then.
Yeah, like, what's the issue?
She's a seasoned professional.
Brenna was always like, what's the issue?
Yeah.
You know?
Erica too. Meanwhile, back in New York, I do think that's what's going on. And I think that some of the women are trying to housewife in a very East Coast and the others are doing a very West Coast sort of thing where
Right.
Makes sense. Jessel's from LA.
Her embryos are in Beverly Hills.
So, but no, notwithstanding, I think that's fine.
Yeah.
That's just what they're doing and they'll figure it all out. Was Jenna even in this episode?
Barely. We find out she goes to therapy with her fiance.
Preemptively, yeah. We have friends that do that. I'll tell you later.
Okay.
But they before they got married, while they were just dating, they would, they went couples therapy.
Well, a lot of people, go, but it's more like with their pastor or whatever.
Yeah.
Like, because they have to have a certain amount.
Cheaper.
No, you have to have a certain. Back in the day, I don't know if it's still a thing. You would have to have a certain amount of hours with the priest of counseling.
Oh, to get married?
Yes, before you get married. So you have a better idea of like what you're going in.
I think that's from leftover from the days where you would be like virgins and you'd never left your parents' house and you were gonna somehow now get married.
Well, also you didn't really date much. You just like found the one person and got married, and like you didn't know how to couple, so you would have that whatever count. There's a term for it. I can't think of it.
Marital counseling.
Premarital counseling.
Well, anyway,
yeah,
but I think it's a good idea. Everyone could benefit from therapy.
Yeah.
And doing it preemptively before there's a problem is always good. So that way it gives you the language to talk about things. And luckily, you and I just watched so many soap operas.
Yes, and we like talk things out a lot.
Yeah, took us a while to get there.
Yes,
but yeah. So that's cool. But that's all we learned about Jenna.
Yes.
She looked great in that top.
Everyone looked great. I mean, well, Jessel not so much with the sombrero boot.
Yeah, she had that weird sombrero
funeral dress.
Yeah. I mean, it works for any occasion.
They like popped off and now it's cocktail.
Right, exactly.
But when it's on, it's a somber occasion.
Large.
Auntie died.
I'm looking at the ladies over your head, and I think we've talked about everybody.
I think so too.
But really, what happened in the episode?
I don't know, but
there was kind of a confrontation. They got through it, and
it was. I feel like, as Sai said, we're like going back to the surface. Like, we're not going to try to go deep. We're not trying to actually resolve the issue. It's just like surface friendship. So if that works, until it doesn't, until there's another blow up,
right?
Probably on a cash trip, then
the timing is right because next week is the team activity.
Yes,
that has to be done on every season of the Housewives.
At least it's not a ropes course.
Yeah,
they're
or pickleball.
Or pickleball.
From what we can tell. Anyway, maybe there's an element of the game that's pickleball.
It's football.
I know, but maybe there's like a triathlon.
Now grab your paddles.
And we're going swimming. Okay. So until next time.
Until next time.